Good to see everybody. Welcome to the final day of National Poetry Month and my 30 days of reading you poems. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. All of these poems, I have read them to you, but all of them are poems I have memorized, and I recommend that you memorize poetry as a way of entertaining yourself and educating yourself during this quarantine time. That's a good thing to do anyway, to be able to recite poems to yourself when you don't have anything else to do. Getting toward the end of the alphabet here, I'm going to read you a poem by William Butler Yeats, who in my opinion was the greatest poet of the 20th century. Many would agree, I guess, that this was an early poem of his, or actually it comes right about in the middle of his poetic career. Easter 1916. In 1916, of course, Ireland was still part of England, and in the Easter week of that year, a bunch of Irish nationalists revolted and had riots in the streets of Dublin, and the British put them down pretty brutally. And a number of leaders who were personally known to Yeats, including the man who had married and then divorced Yeats's true love, Maud Gunn, were executed. And this poem is about his reaction to their seemingly vain attempt to strike a blow for Irish independence. Easter 1916. I have met them at close of day, coming with vivid faces from counter or desk among grey 18th century houses. I have passed with a nod of the head or polite, meaningless words, or have lingered a while and said polite, meaningless words, and thought before I had done of a mocking tale or a jibe to please a companion around the fire at the club, being certain that they and I but lived where motley is worn, all changed utterly. A terrible beauty is born. That woman's days were spent in ignorant goodwill, her nights in argument until her voice grew shrill. What voice more sweet than hers when young and beautiful she rode to harriers? This man had kept a school and rode our winged horse. This other, his helper and friend, was coming into his force. He might have won fame in the end, so sensitive his nature seemed, so daring and sweet his thought. This other man, I had dreamed, a drunken, vainglorious lout. He had done most bitter wrong to some who are near my heart, yet I number him in the song. He too has resigned his part in the casual comedy. He too has been changed in his turn, transformed utterly. A terrible beauty is born. Hearts with one purpose alone through summer and winter seem enchanted to a stone to trouble the living stream. The horse that comes from the road, the rider, the birds that range from cloud to tumbling cloud, minute by minute they change. A shadow of cloud on the stream changes minute by minute. A horse hoof slides on the brim, and a horse plashes within it. The long-legged moorhens dive, and hens to moorcocks call. Minute by minute they live, the stones in the midst of all. Too long a sacrifice can make a stone of the heart. Oh, when may it suffice? That is heaven's part, our part to murmur name upon name, as a mother names her child when sleep at last has come on limbs that had run wild. What is it but nightfall? No, not night, but death. Was it needless death after all? For England may keep faith for all that is done and said. We know their dream, enough to know they dreamed and are dead. And what if excess of love bewildered them till they died? I write it out in a verse. MacDonagh and McBride and Connolly and Pearse, now and in time to be, wherever green is worn, are changed, changed utterly. A terrible beauty is born. I don't know why a long time ago I started reading that with a bad Irish accent. Yeats did not have an Irish accent. I've had a lot of fun reading poetry to you, and I hope that I turned you on to some poems that you will go back and find or read again for yourselves. Hope we had a good month together, and hope that this quarantine is over when it needs to be over. And I wish you luck in evading the coronavirus and staying well, staying safe and happy in whatever time we have left to be in isolation from one another. Please reach out to one another in any way you can in this time. And I will see you later. Have a good day. Bye-bye.